more so, the chance that they took was that they were setting up Pepper Potts to be her own hero.
Rescue?
Well, perhaps not even rescue, but what I'm saying, Pepper Potts. Because afterwards, like, Pepper had the suit on. And she did save Tony at one point towards the beginning, and then she was injected with this extremist virus, and she did, again, she saved herself, and she saved a bunch of other people, and she was awesome. Yeah. And I think it was just as brave and just as big of a move to kill her as to make her her own hero.
Pepper Potts is rescued, because in the Iron Man comics for a while, she's not anymore because they hate women in comic books, but...
Matt Fraction tried. He tried really hard.
Tony Stark gave her own set of armor called... because, like, I think he gave it to her because he was like... in case you like need to protect yourself at any point. She's like, I'm gonna be a hero. So she wasn't like an active hero like Iron Man, but anytime they if there was an emergency in New York or wherever, where she lived, she would like don the armor, go out, or if they needed an extra hand or something, she'd go out and help, and she was really good.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
I loved everything about it.
I thought what they did with the Mandarin was genius.
Yeah, excellent. Because
I'm glad you agree with that, Penny. Because
I do agree with that.
There is a lot of hate from comic book people, which, as you say, is sort of comic book people's home ground.
Yes, exactly.
Sort of hating on things, how much they thought they ruined the Mandarin. I thought this was a great idea because I didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming either, and I was pleasantly surprised. I think Ben Kingsley is an excellent actor, and I think he was
Ben Kingsley.
There we go, Sir Ben Kingsley. I think he was a very interesting choice for this character as well. But what I was really afraid of, and I mean, I love 60s comics just as much as anybody else, but I like Stan Lee's writing.
Okay, sure, yeah.
But, you know, what I was really afraid of was that they were going to be racist, whether it was intentional or not, you know,
right,
and I
yeah.
didn't want it to be anything about that because, you know, when it was written, the Cold War was on, and, you know, Red China was the enemy, or so to speak.
Yeah.
But I really didn't want that to happen in this film, and they didn't. They circumvented that beautifully.
My concern with Ben Kingsley prior to the movie was that I didn't think he was serious enough. Which was perfect for what they did. Because that's the thing. I can only take that guy seriously for so long. Anybody who's seen The Whackness, Adam, you watched that movie with me. Like, after you've seen that, you look at Ben Kingsley and you're like...
Kingsley.
Yeah, okay, you look at Sir Ben Kingsley.
I'm just saying, if he's
that
ever
movie
comes
where
on the
he was
show,
a
I don't
stoner.
want to be like...
Did you say if Ben Kingsley is ever on the show?
Yeah.
Along with Sir Patrick Stewart and Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, I don't want to get mad. It's like, hey, in episode 6 of the Aperture, you didn't put a Sir in front of my name. I don't want to be on the show now.
There's a legitimate chance that not only will he be on the show, he's watched or listened to all our episodes on YouTube in 1080p audio.
You don't know, right?
What?
You don't know.
By the way, that's youtube.com/The Aperture Show.
Yeah, we'll do that at the end.
Okay, well, I just did it.
Okay, well, I mean, we'll do it again at the end. I don't want to do the Facebook thing right now. I will say, we were talking about how, like, comic book, like, nerds are always, like... There's a thing on TV Tropes, which is an excellent website for writers. I don't know if you've ever been on it.
I have, yes.
Okay, there's a trope where they say, they changed it, now it sucks, and basically it's like... you have, like, the example they have here is a comic from a web comic, or a little panel from a comic strip I read, and it's like, the guy's like... Everyone knows that Gimli's beard is 2/3 of a shade lighter in the book. It's also a 1/4 inch shorter than it should be. Tolkien must be turning in his grave. And the guy's talking about the Lord of the Rings movie. I'm like, that's exactly what it is. People just get neat, like, they won't allow change ever. And that's one of the reasons why Spider-Man sucks now, in the comics at least. Because they won't allow, like, they're like, oh, we can't change Spider-Man because any change is bad because it means that I have to change myself and I can't live downstairs with my parents anymore. I'm a huge nerd. I get wanting to keep things the same. I love keeping things the same. I don't want things to end. I didn't want Beast Wars to end. I didn't want the Spider-Man, the Spectacular Spider-Man to end. I don't want a lot of stuff to end. But at the same time, it has to change or it gets boring and stale.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and those changes are sometimes good, but sometimes bad. But at least they make them.
Yeah.
Metallica change, bad.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. Please don't let me. Don't talk. No, just.
We're not gonna get. Well, actually,
don't mention that CD that we're not going to talk about.
We will end up doing a show probably on the more sort of on music or music and video games or something.
Okay.
Some excuse to talk about how the Metallica change is bad. But we'll transition now into the Avengers just quickly because we have like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, I do want to quickly bring up, because we did mention him when we were talking about Spider-Man, Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
Well, we touched on it. I wish, like, I know that there's a whole, like, struggle right now trying to get characters back from, like, to Disney from Fox and from Sony or whoever owns them right now. You know, leave Spider-Man where he is. He's doing great things, like, not with the rest of the Marvel characters over at Disney. However, I wish they would pay for Norman Osborn, because what an incredible character he would be for a villain in the Avengers 2. I
As-
really
as
want that
who?
to happen.
Norman Osborn as Green Goblin, Iron Patriot, Head of Hammer.
Whoever. I just
Okay.
want Civil War to happen. Like, really badly.
So, like, all three then.
Basically, yes.
The biggest plus, biggest minors of the Avengers.
Biggest minors? I don't think there were any
Minus.
minors in the movie.
I'm sure there were. I'm positive in those scenes of the civilians there must have been, but biggest plus, biggest minuses. Penny.
Biggest plus was how well they actually got the team to work. I feel like perhaps Captain America was a bit underutilized as the leader because Tony Stark is such a loud personality.
Like, he's very in-your-face charismatic.
Right? And he's a natural leader. Like, I think that's Robert Downey Jr., and he can't turn that off. That's fine. However, I do think that they utilized the team beautifully. And, you know, Captain America, when he was giving out orders, I believed him. He was the leader. So
Right.
I really enjoyed that. Minus for me, I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie. I'm having trouble thinking of one. I know that there are. But
They're very, very minor.
they are super minor. Like, I can't even think of one. Another thing that I loved about it was, obviously, it was Joss Whedon, so it was really fair. Black Widow was incredible, and a lot of people complained that she got scared of the Hulk when Bruce Banner hulked out.
It's
I'd have gotten
Hulk.
scared of the Hulk too.
I think
It's the
everybody would be
Hulk.
scared of the Hulk. It doesn't matter that she's a woman.
I thought that was vital, actually.
It was.
that the fact that these superheroes aren't necessarily on level ground.
Absolutely.
Like, because you wouldn't expect that with superheroes,
Yeah.
right? You would expect there to be variation in their abilities,
Yeah.
right? And the fact that these superheroes are scared indicates that the Hulk it's a badass dude.
Yeah, exactly.
The Adam,
That's-
biggest plus, biggest minus.
Biggest plus for me was definitely the. It's very, 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 very hard when you're doing a team-based movie to, one, make sure each member of the team gets his own, like, yeah, they focused on Hulk, Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man, but every single person in that movie, all the team members, all of the Avengers, including Nick Fury, Hawkeye, they all had their moment. Like, they all had time to develop. You got to know the characters. They all got their time to shine, kind of thing. So no character really outshone
Yep, Sean.
outshone the other characters. Other thing, they had such a good chemistry, the team. Like, a lot of times you get, like, especially in comics, you'll get superheroes teaming up and just like, I don't like you. Well, I don't like you. It's like, we're going to be angsty, even though we're two well-established heroes who are very, very friendly. We're going to be angsty to each other because people like it when heroes are angsty and we don't, because it's really boring and it's been done before, and stop doing it. But I liked how in this movie they were like, at the beginning they were fighting, but there was a sense of camaraderie between Tony Stark and
Bruce?
Bruce Banner, Mark
love that
Ruffalo.
friendship.
There was
That was great.
camaraderie between Black Widow and Hawkeye. There was camaraderie between Agent Coulson and Captain America.
Really good one. Really surprising one, too.
Yeah,
Well done.
I don't know. It's just there was such a connect. Like, you felt like they were
Yeah.
like friendly with each other, and they were a team.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
will say my biggest plus is definitely Bruce Banner in this. A performance which managed to beat out two actors who were arguably better actors, which is interesting, right? Because, I mean, let's face it. I mean, Edward Norton and Eric Bana, they're top notch, to my mind. But this guy really impressed me, honestly. Just unbelievably well done.
What was Mark Ruffalo in before this?
I remember him in a romantic comedy.
Yeah. Nothing
that was
really
like that was.
huge.
I felt like
that
they
was
take a
his
huge
thing.
risk with him, and it paid off.
We have 1 minute, so we're gonna conclude with the Facebook and Twitter. Adam.
So if you like our show, you can feel free to follow us on Twitter at www.twitter.com/The Aperture Show. Uppercase T, all lower spaces, all lowercase is no space. And you can also follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Aperture Show. Uppercase T, uppercase A, lowercase s, no spaces.
And you can also email us at theaperture@gmail.com with the first E in aperture replaced by a 3 because the regular aperture@gmail.com is already taken for some reason. Or you can watch us on YouTube in 1080p at youtube.com/theaperture show. And I'll have the rest of the episodes up soon. Thank you, Penny, for coming
Thanks for
in
having
and discussing
me.
with us.
Super fun.
Yeah.
And
By the way, she's going to be in end of July, early August because she's going to Comic-Con.
Woo! San Diego.
Yeah.
SDCC.
And we're going to do a Comic-Con show. So, we'll have her in to do that.
Cool.
yeah, and there's no show on after us, so stay tuned for some good music.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.